Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. By the title, you must have guessed that we will be scraping lots and lots of data today from the internet, and we will be doing that for a bunch of Pokemon image. All 800 Pokemon images we are going to be scrapping today, right? So if I go ahead and show you what I have scrapped so far, so you can see that I have like a folder with every single Pokemon from the Pokédex and all 801 of them. I mean, I just watched Pokemon till like I think the first two seasons. I think I just knew like only till somewhere around 200 Pokemons or 150, the original 150 Pokemons, and I think a little bit after that. But yeah, I really didn't know there were like 801 Pokemons, and so yeah, it's been a long time since I watched Pokemon. And that being said, so today we'll be using Python to scrap tons and tons of images from the internet, and you can apply this technique to any single website or any single set of images that you want to scrap from the internet, not just Pokemon, but you will need to know some kind of sequence or some kind of order in which the images are stored. So for me it was pretty simple. The images were stored as 001, 002, 003, and all that, so it was pretty easy for me. So that being said, yeah, let's get started with the tutorial. So go ahead and create new folder. We'll just call it image scrapper. Okay. So in this, we'll go and create a new folder called images. And this is where all our images are gonna go. Sorry, images. Okay. And let's open this with Visual Studio Code. Let me close what I had before. Okay. So create a new file called scraper, scrapper Okay, and as I said earlier, this is not a beginner's tutorial, although I think this is a little more easier to follow, but it would definitely be helpful if you already know Python, just basic for loops, if conditions, and you need to know how HTTP works, like how request works, like get, post, and all those things. So if you're familiar with those things, I mean, this will be good, but otherwise also I think you can still watch this tutorial, and yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. Okay, so as I said, we have a few dependencies. So the dependencies for this will be import cv2, and the command to install opencv is um, pip install opencv dash python opencv dash python. So if you don't have this, just go ahead and copy this into your command line and install this. I already have it, so I'm not going to be doing this. And we also need numpy. Pip install numpy. Okay. And what else do we need? Yeah. So these are the external dependencies that we require. So just go ahead, and if you're in Visual Studio Code like I am, just copy this, hit control backtick or control tilde L, and just paste it in your terminal. Okay, so I won't do that. As I said, I already have these installed, so yeah, I won't be doing this. So we need opencv and numpy, excuse me. Okay, so these are the external dependencies that we need. Sorry, numpy as np numpy as np. Okay, so yeah, people usually import numpy as np. I don't know why. It's just a standard that people do. And so the other things we need is to fetch data from the internet. We will require the URL lib library from Python's internal library, this thing, and we just have to do import url lib dot request. Okay, so there are actually a lot of confusion on as to which library you have to use. I mean, there is URL lib, there's URL lib2, there's URL lib dot request, and there's request and all that. There's like tons and tons of request libraries. So, I mean, from what I found out, that this is the simplest one. Then it comes inbuilt with Python 3, and we'll have to use URL lib dot request, which is the correct one to go for Python 3. Okay, and just to time stuff, we just import the time library. Import time, sorry. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and see what we'll be scraping and how we're going to get the data from where what mean how we're going to get the URLs of what we want to scrape, right? So we just go to Pokemon.com. All right. So here you can just go to Pokédex. Just go here and click on Pokédex, and you can see like every single Pokemon here is available, right, as an image. So all you have to do is just right click, open image in new tab, and you can actually see this URL here. So this URL will actually point you to this image, and if you just change this to 002, you will actually get the next Pokemon in that sequence, right? So just go ahead and copy this. I'll probably paste this in the description. Just copy this and put it here. Okay. So just say URL is equal to and put this in quotes, single quotes or double quotes, doesn't matter. All right. And so this is just a URL, right? So now we can actually use a for loop to iterate over the URLs. So just say for I in range. So the Pokemon starts from 1 and goes all the way up to 801. So 801. Sorry, there's no 0 here. There's 801 and there's no Pokemon with 802. So yeah, 801 is the last Pokemon that's available apparently. So we say for I in range 1 to 802. We say 802 because the end range won't actually be counted. It will go from 1 to 801 and not 802. Okay. So uh, what we have to do is copy this string. You don't have to put it as URL actually. Okay. Put this inside. Put this URL inside. Okay. And here what you have to do is you do plus plus, you concatenate, and you say I. Obviously this won't work. Even if you put string of I, this won't actually work because we need to format the number before concatenating it to the string. And we can use Python's internal format library, or I don't know if it's a library or if it's just a inbuilt function. But yeah, you can just use um, dot format. So for that we need, if you're familiar with C and how you display things in C, like I don't know what it's called, the printf um, percentage symbol, right? That I don't know what it's called. I've forgotten. So yeah, you can actually use that, but in Python it's slightly different. So it gives single quotes or double quotes. I don't know. Curly brackets and then colon 03D, right? So what this will do is it D stands for integer and 03 I mean 3 is basically, sorry, 3 is basically the number of the length of the string that you want to get generate, and 0 is basically saying if the number is not if the length of the number is less than 3, just pad the other stuff with zeros, right? And you have to do dot format and then pass the integer that you want to display. Am I doing this correctly? Oh, sorry. There's a quotes here and there's nothing here. Okay. So just to make it more clear, I'm gonna do this. Apparently, okay, fine. That also works. You can just put in the new line. So you can just do this, whatever, and then dot format of I. I is basically the number you're passing, which gets formatted. Okay. So this is actually our URL. So if I go ahead and run this for, let's say, a few URLs, and if I just say print URL, you should actually see that actually changes, right? So you can see that is actually changing here, right? So it's working. Okay, that's good. So next what we have to use is we have to use Python's URL lib library to fetch this image as a over HTTP, right? So everything in the web is served over HTTP for the most part, and so we can use URL lib library which converts HTTP request and sends HTTP request and returns data. So for that we have to do, we say response, or sorry, request view request is equal to URL lib dot request dot request. capital R. The second, I mean, the third R, I mean, the second request is with a capital R. Okay. So it takes for the get parameter, which is basically when you want to get something and you don't want to send any data. So the get just takes one thing, which is a URL. So all you have to do is just pass in this URL, and that's good to go. So one more thing is, um, yeah. So now we just have this request and we have to open this request, right? We actually have to go and visit the website. I mean, visit that page, right? So that's what Python does. If we just do response, response, uh, response, response is equal to ur url lib dot um request dot open URL. Was it? Oh, sorry, URL open. URL open. Okay. And all you have to do is pass in the request object. Request. Okay. So what this will go ahead and do is it'll open this request, basically visit that URL and give us back a response. So response here is basically a string, a binary string. So this will actually not be an image as such, so it'll be a binary string. So to convert this binary string into an image that we can use in Opencv, we'll have to do a few steps, few conversion steps. So first thing you have to do is so binary underscore string is equal to, so we do response dot read. Okay, so this is actually a HTTP request object that's been returned. So it has all the status and it has I mean, lot of I mean, so many other I mean, lot of other data that we don't clearly care about. So yeah, so we just discard that and we just want to read the pure data that was being sent back. So now we have a binary string, right? And we want to convert this binary string into an image. So the next intermediate step is you have to convert this binary string into a byte array, right? So we say byte array is equal to, so all you have to do is just say call byte array, which is an inbuilt function, and just pass this binary string to it. Okay, so this will actually give you a byte array. So one last step is converting it to a numpy array. So we say image is equal to um, numpy, this we'll call it numpy array, numpy underscore array, right? So numpy array will be numpy dot as np dot as why is the autocomplete not working? Okay, never mind. As array, okay, it's here as array, and all we have to do is pass in this byte array, and tell it what data type you want the resulting numpy array to be. So here we want it to be of type unsigned int, unint 8. So basically it says take take 8 bits and convert it into a unsigned int. All right. So now all you have to do is the last step is convert it into an Opencv image. So we say this is actually pretty straightforward because Opencv by itself stores all the images as a numpy array. So yeah, so just do cv2.im decode, okay, and just pass in the numpy array, and then we want to say um, what kind of image you want to convert it to. So for now, we just want, I mean, you can actually convert it to grayscale, and then you can convert it to RGB, BGR, and whatnot. So for now, we just say cv2 dot image unchanged. I am read, sorry, I am read unchanged. I am read, I am read underscore unchanged, right? So basically, this won't change anything and just read the image as it is, right? So if it has an alpha channel, it'll actually preserve the alpha channel. Okay, so now that we have the image now here, all we have to go ahead and do is just save the image to our folder, right? For that, we just do cv2 dot im save I am write, not I am write, I am write. Of course, I'm always right, but yeah. Okay, data, that's a bad joke. Images slash so yeah, so now we want to say what file we want to save it as. So we're just going to use the same format here, and we're just going to say you have to concatenate this. So instead of, you can give 3 or 4, I just gave it 4. So basically it'll have 4 zeros, I mean 3 zeros and one number if it's between 1 and 9. So anything is fine. 3 also should work, but in case there are other Pokemons in the future, so this keeping it, I mean, I just thought that keeping it as 4 makes more sense. Okay. So .png, yes. Okay, so this is the file name. We also have to pass the image that we want to save. All right. So this will actually save our image, and we can just go ahead and give a print statement to know print to know which image has been saved. So copy this, put it here, and say saved space plus concatenate this. Okay, so basically it'll say saved 001.png, 002.png, and so on, right? And just to make sure, if something goes wrong, we don't want our entire program to exit, so we just put a try catch, try except in Python, right? So put a try except, and we do except except exception as e. Okay, and just print the exception, print string of e. So basically if there's any error in one of the for loops, it'll actually just catch the exception and just print it out so that we can see what's going on. Okay, so this will actually work. So one more thing, let's just time this. We don't need this anymore, the first line. So let's just time this and see how long it takes to scrape a lot of data. So we say start underscore time is equal to dot time dot time will basically fetch the current time in seconds at dot milliseconds. Okay, so yeah, basically seconds with a lot of floating decimal points and all that. Okay, and once our function ends, we just do end time is equal to time dot time. Okay, and we say print done, and we say print um time taken is equal to, or colon, we just do end time, sorry, end time minus start time. Okay, and then we just do plus sec, sorry. That is not intentional, just saying. Okay, time taken, I make a lot of typos, sorry. Okay, so right now let's just do for the first 50 images, or first 40 images, right? So from 1 to 40. So let's just run this and hopefully it works. It should work. Data type uint. Oh, sorry. U, it's not unit. It's uint. Unsigned int 8. Okay, that's good. So remove this, run this again. Please work. Oh, it's working, it's working, it's working. Okay, that's good, that's good. It's going slowly, but it's still working. That's good, that's good. So if we go back and see, oh, let's just wait for this to be done. Oh, that's interesting. Must be string not float. Ah, okay. str. Okay, let me just quickly delete the images. This is not supposed to happen. Okay, one sec. String. Come on, come on. Ah, there we go. So it took me 7.2 seconds to scrape 41 images, right? So if we go ahead and go to our images folder here, which I was there actually, images folder here, you can see that all the images have been like successfully scraped from the internet into our local folder. So yeah, I mean, I won't be going and I won't be doing for all the 801 Pokemon, because in the next video I'm going to show you how we can actually speed this up really fast by using multi-threading and using all your CPU cores to this full potential, and like scrape data on each and every core, right? So right now we're taking 7.2 seconds for what 40 images. So if I bring up the calculator, and if you say, if you want to do 800 images, right, so you do 800 divided by 40, that will be, yeah, 20 times. So into 7.2. So you see, it takes actually 144 seconds just to scrape 800 images, right? Which is not a long time if you really think about it, but we can definitely make this much, much faster than 140 seconds, way faster, right? So stay tuned for the next video, and please leave a like, I mean, subscribe if you want to see more programming videos, and leave a comment as to saying what I should be doing and what you would like to see in the channel. And my channel is fairly new, so you could actually, I mean, you actually have the power to shape my channel and what it becomes in the future, right? So just leave a comment, and thanks for watching.